Okay, so your partner has finally convinced you to sit down and watch all of the Marvel films with him because he's promised you will enjoy them once you get into them. But because you don't actually care about superhero films, you need someone to condense a whole 24 films into 2-minute bite-sized chunks. Well, I'm that guy who can help you pretend you paid attention when in fact we all know you fell asleep around about film number 2. So buckle up for round 1 of 3 where we look at phase 1. And before we start, spoiler alert. So it all begins with Iron Man, who is a rich arsehole called Tony Stark who sells weapons but then gets captured by terrorists, so makes a suit of armour to escape said terrorists, which he then paints red and fights more terrorists with before killing his evil business partner who wants his own suit to do bad guy things with, and then they have a big metal fight and then he becomes a more likeable rich arsehole. The next film is this one that you're honestly fine to sleep through, but all you need to know is that this nerd turns green when he's angry and he's basically a god, but we don't really talk about this film so you're good. Oh, and this guy shows up in like 10 movies time and that's about it. But wait, this guy's back and it's a few years after the first film and he has a new suit and this guy is different and they team up together and shoot a big angry Russian guy who decides with unlimited resources and technology to make whips. And while that's happening, this guy shows up and he's important, and then this guy Coulson who works for Mr. Eyepatch, and then there's a spy chick now called Black Widow, and then Elon's here, and this guy who basically carries the film but you'll never see him again. Oh, and Tony and Pepper are kind of a thing now and you love it. The next film is Thor, who is a literal god and has a thunder hammer, and his dad Odin thinks he's spoiled so takes his powers away and sends him from Asgard to be banished on Earth, and then his brother Loki, who is a huge dick, basically tries to take the throne and kill Thor, which fails, and then Thor gets his power back, and then also Coulson turns back up here to remind you this takes place in the same week as Iron Man 2. Then we go way back to World War II where this skinny weirdo takes something heavy and gets buff and kicks the shit out of some Nazis, and then takes the evil blue space cube and gets himself frozen with it for like 70 years to save the world. And during this film he meets a British soldier girl, but then he gets his ass frozen for like 70 years, so she's probably dead now. And then the Avengers, where Iron Man and Thor are back, the Green Nerd is Mark Ruffalo now, Captain America is awake in modern times, Ginger Catwoman is back, and there's a guy with a bow now, and this guy basically decides they all need to team up and stop Thor's brother Loki, who has this mysterious scepter, from using the blue cube to kill everyone. And then Coulson dies in a flying aircraft carrier, and the team all fall out over the mysterious scepter, and then this guy gets brainwashed and is bad for a bit, but then they all work their shit out and come together in New York, save the world from ugly green aliens and flying sea turtles, and then Iron Man carries a nuke through the wormhole which magically kills all of the aliens at once, and then Loki surrenders back to Asgard and everyone has shawarma. And that's the end of phase 1.